Meeting to order. First up tonight is the approval of the agenda. If there's no changes that need to be made, I'll seek a motion for approval. The second? Second. All those in favor? None opposed. Next, we have our meetings from our regularly scheduled meeting. Our minutes from January 2nd. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None are opposed. Next up, we have administrative reports. Just a reminder, if anyone is cold or without heat or homeless, you can dial 911 and we can help you find a shelter. We don't have designated shelter set up, but there is availability. So just remember that if you know someone, don't let them freeze. So, any other commissioner reports tonight?
No.
Report. Yes, sir. Move on now to county manager report. Ms. Fox.
I don't have a formal report tonight, just a couple of items. The Savannah Community Building Project for the handicap paving, the parking area, has been completed, and the total cost of that was $4,536. And I'd like to thank the emergency management, emergency service, sheriff, and public works for the last two weather incidents we've had. That's all.
Do you have any public comment?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Shinbrook?
Sorry for the scribble out. Almost couldn't write my own name. So, good evening. My name is Steve Shinbrook. I'm a Jackson County resident. My primary reason for speaking tonight is to say thank you to the board for your thoughtful consideration of the next steps regarding the proposed revisions to the Fontana Regional Library interlocal agreement at your work session last week. I believe that asking staff to arrange for face-to-face meetings between county managers and attorneys from all three counties is a positive and a thoughtful thing to do. I hope that you, as you move forward, you'll be able to clearly define what, if any, significant problem or problems are being experienced by Jackson County residents and patrons of the Jackson County Library. I should say libraries. That might be best addressed through formal action by the board. I'm personally having a little trouble trying to identify what the problem is. Although all systems and organizations often benefit from minor course corrections as time passes and circumstances change, I don't personally see anything that would justify major changes to the purpose, structure, governance, or operations of the Fontana system or the Jackson County Library. Thank you again. I look forward to future discussions with the board.
Next up tonight, we have Jeffrey Hirsch.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the time to speak. I just have a brief statement and in opposition to making any changes to existing regulations. Our library is a place where people of all ages go to understand themselves, to learn about others, and to discover what they love. They learn about our wonderfully complex and sometimes difficult world. They develop their talents, their relationships, and their futures. Libraries are not just warehouses for books. They are keepers of our community, of our humanity. Our library does all this and more, and it does a wonderful job just as it is. Please don't interfere with what is working so well. Don't try to fix what is not broken. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Miss Ross, Katherine Ross.
Thank you, Katherine Ross from Silva, and I would like to reaffirm what these gentlemen have stated. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you. And I'd like to take just a little bit of an overview here. In considering the future of our Fontana Regional Library System, I believe it's instructional to look to Benjamin Franklin, the founder, co-founder, whatever, of the Library Company of Philadelphia in 1731. During the following decade, when several other American cities also began forming their own libraries, Franklin made the following observation. These libraries have improved the general conversation of Americans, made the common tradesmen and farmers as intelligent as most gentlemen from other countries, and perhaps have contributed in some degree to the stand so generally made throughout the colonies in defense of their privileges. And it's my personal belief that if Benjamin Franklin, who demonstrated, and I believe, an understanding of the value of a free and open society, free of censorship, if he were here with us tonight, he would echo these same sentiments on behalf of our own Jackson County libraries and the excellent services currently provided to our community. Thank you.
Up tonight in the consent agenda, we first have Ms. Fox and the finance report for December.
I'll go over the highlights for the month of December. The general fund revenues collected to date is $50,746,672. That's 57.26% of budget. The expenditures to date is at $38,554,646. That's at 45.19% of budget. The revenues currently are at $12,192,026 more than the expenditures. The ad valorem taxes collected to date, $36,504,361, which is 83.31% of budget. The motor vehicle taxes, $820,761, that's 41.38% of budget. The prior year tax collected, $233,223, it's 46.64% of budget. We received the sales and use tax distribution in the amount of $1,752,667 in December. That was for September sales. That amount was $173,065 less than we received in December of 2022. The Article 46 distribution was $218,403, and the average increase for the year is minus 0.19%. The landfill disposal fees collected are $2,381,331. That's 77.91% of budget. And the prior year landfill disposal fees, $35,464. That's 41.72% of budget. The growth revenues we're tracking, the planning is running 18.3% less than where it should be for December. The code enforcement is right on target. The environmental health is down 7.54%, and the register deeds is over 10.92%. The general fund contingency balance at the end of December is $864,320.57. I'd be glad to answer any questions on the report.
Ms. Fox, I should ask this on your manager's report. On that Savannah project, that was the parking area, is that right?
That's correct.
Did they finish the ceiling?
The only thing that's complete at this point is the parking area, the handicap in the parking area.
I didn't know if I'd missed that or not about the.
I think they've completed that.
Have they? Okay.
I will check on it and let
I've
you
missed
know.
a couple meetings.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I'll let you know. Any other questions?
Questions from the board? Is there a motion to approve the tax report?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Moving on now to, thank you, Ms. Fox.
Thank you.
Tax collector and refund reports, and Ms. Henson.
Good evening. For the month of December, the current taxes collected was $8,546,755. The delinquent taxes collected were $40,244. The total collected for the month was $8,989,666.20. Refunds were $23,686.38, and releases were $156.76. Any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Fox or for Ms. Henson?
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the tax collector's report? A second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Moving on now to new business, we have Sheriff Farmer and our flock safety cameras.
Thank you, Commissioners. The last time I spoke, we spoke about the flock cameras. This is just an updated quote from Flock Safety that I didn't have that night with me. And it is an additional $5,000 on that, as I figured it would be. And that, again, is per year. They'll split that total amount. It'll be on a per year basis, but it is a 5-year contract. And we have till January 31st to sign that in order to keep those rates that we have there.
Any questions regarding the flock safety system?
Comment, I've had multiple people say, is the sheriff's office gonna start sending us a ticket?
No, these are not that type of cameras. You're thinking red light cameras. These are strictly for silver alerts. Case in point, the Sean Williams fugitive that we were looking for here that was in Jackson County. Because of those flock cameras, that's what got him caught.
Picking up stolen vehicles.
Yes.
I've had several positive comments based on our
Yeah.
communication at the last
Yeah.
meeting. And some people even asked, well, can't we get more than two?
I would love to have more, but I mean, it's an expense. It's a yearly expense. But
Does the yearly expense go up with the additional cameras?
it goes up per camera. It would go up $3,000.
So two's a good start, and then we can go up from there.
Yeah.
But we'll have four.
Oh, we'll have four total?
We have four. We have two already, and we have two that's coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
That's pretty good. Everything I've heard from the community that's contacted me has been positive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the one lady that had left here and they were looking for had some medical issues. We caught her in Henderson County on a flock camera, and that saved the county a lot of money from deploying search teams and fire departments out in the area. So we was able to take care of that.
I'm sure those will pay for themselves in the long run.
Is there a motion to approve flock camera safety system?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Chairman Lansing.
Yes. Moving on now to the control systems.
Okay. The accurate control systems is the control systems that we have in our detention facility. And we have two control rooms, one in the center of the facility and one in the booking area. All those operate in conjunction with one another. Most recently, we've had one of the control boards went down that we had. They came in, fixed it, but they told us because it's so antiquated that there's the possibility they may not be able to repair it again. So they came in and the equipment that we had already that was to be installed, they came in to install it. And whenever they started the install, the version that we're working off of is the version 5, and I know John will be probably familiar, some of you may be more familiar with it than I am. And they can only increase that to like 7.5. The actual equipment that they're working off of works off a version 12. So what they're having to do, or what they've done down there right now, is they've done a patchwork job. So how long it works, I don't know, but it's working right now. We did have an issue, and I've included a couple of emails where I've spoke with the jail captain, and she's got emails from them over the weekend. There, we had a couple cameras go down that we got absolutely no video off of, and we had to bring them back in to repair those. So the other thing you see there is a quote for an update for the version 12 equipment that will work with that version 12. And I've got it highlighted there in the amount that shows there. Again, this is a lot of technical terminology and stuff, and I can have them appear before you if you would like me to bring one of them. I just have to schedule that with them to get somebody from Accurate Controls here to give you further. But we did have to document that because the camera's not recording, and that one of those emails is in regards to that, so that the inspector doesn't gig us on that. So.
The only question I have is on the second page there. It says that they're allowed to adjust the contract price to reflect any actual cost or labor materials. Never seen that in many contracts I've had to do. So if they're quoting a price, they should know what the price of the equipment and the price of the labor to install it already. That gives them an open door to
Yeah.
the price.
And I can forward this to the county attorney and let them take a look at it. And,
This is back on October 17th, so we probably need to get an updated quote in.
yes. But I can forward this to the county attorney and let them take a look at it as well, as far as the contract, because it is a contract. And that way they'll know more about it. So,
So allowing them to change the cost.
right.
Open ourselves up.
Okay. All right. I will get with Miss Darlene, and we'll take care of that. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Moving on now to our zero tolerance drug and alcohol testing policy, and Ms. Alm.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. So as presented on January 9th, we put before you that the North Carolina Department of Transportation Integrated Mobility Division has provided the latest drug and alcohol policy template that has been recommended by both the FTA and the IMD. So I attached the red line version so that all new changes could easily be identified. As I explained that previously, a lot of the changes were definition updates, and that they were trying to add the oral fluid specimen definition and terminology to add that to the policy for future drug testing. So, were there any questions on this particular policy?
Questions from the board?
Okay. So, for today, we are requesting that the Board of Commissioners adopt the latest version of the Jackson County Transit Drug and Alcohol Testing Policy as presented.
Is there a motion to adopt the alcohol and drug testing policy as presented?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Latson?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Moving on now to our fiscal year budget calendar. Ms. Fox.
This is a copy of the proposed budget calendar that was presented on the 9th. And if there's no changes in dates, I'd recommend that it be adopted.
Everyone, any questions for Ms. Fox?
Seemed like I got an email or a text from regarding one of the budget meetings that was going to be meeting at Fairview, but it's going to be at the Borough Center. Is that correct?
Correct.
No, or was it gonna be at the Borough Center? Now it's at Fairview.
That's the Board of Education joint
That's
meeting.
Board of Education.
Board of Education.
So I got that reversed. So,
Yeah.
so we're going to be,
It's not part of this.
okay. I didn't see it, and that's why it was a little confusing. Thank you.
That's the next item, I think.
Yes,
There's-
that's right.
If there's no, if everyone is good with this, I'll seek a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling, Chairman Letson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then moving on to our special meeting with the Board of Education.
This is the joint meeting with the Board of Education we discussed at the work session, and they have asked that it be at Fairview at the Media Center at 6 p.m. on February the 8th. And they'll send information to us prior to the meeting.
Is there any questions regarding this meeting? If not, I'll seek a motion for approval.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Stribling, Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Letson.
Yes. And then request for tax administration position reclassification. Ms. Fox?
Okay. This is a request for a reclassification in the position. We've got one position that's a personal property appraiser, and they work mainly on the North Carolina vehicle tax system. We're asking that that position be reclassified to a license plate agency technician. It's one grade lower than it currently is. And then asked to reclassify the current NCVTS personal property appraiser to the motor vehicle manager. They would spend 85% time with tax administration, 15% time with the LPA. And the funds for this change has been budgeted. And you can see this is the current grade step for the tax administration office. They have one license plate agency technician and 3 personal property appraisers. We'd ask that it be changed to 2 LPA technicians and 2 personal property appraiser positions.
Are those positions currently filled, all 3 of those?
The personal property appraiser position is filled,
Okay.
but that person would be reclassified to the manager position.
Okay.
So we would have 2.
Nobody's gonna go down.
No, no.
Any additional questions by the board? If not, I'll seek a motion for approval of these reclassifications.
So moved, Chair.
Second,
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling, Chairman Letson.
Yes. Moving on now to the resolution in support of financing for Summit Charter School. I have a direct conflict with this, so I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair, Mr. Bryson.
Darlene, go ahead.
Okay. I'll give you an overview of the Jackson County loan for Summit Charter. The county will loan $2.5 million to Summit Charter School under the authority of the legislation enacted this past summer. The loan will be due in 3 years, with Summit paying monthly interest payments at the rate of 5% to the county. Summit will receive interest on the unspent loan proceeds. And that will be the rate that matches the county's cash investment plan right now. The Summit can repay the loan, but it'll be subject to certain limits, that prepayments are not undue inconvenience. The main document for the transaction is a loan agreement between the county and Summit Charter. The county's board resolution that's before you tonight formally authorizes the county staff to deliver the loan agreement and take all appropriate action to close the loan. That closing we've got scheduled for January 22nd. The statute allows the county to make loans to a charter school, so that's why Summit Charter is the barrier. But we're also involved in Summit School Foundation because it owns the intended site of the school and has overall financial resources. So Summit Foundation will also sign the documents. There'll be a deed of trust giving the county a security interest in the school site to secure the school payment obligations and a general guarantee of Summit School's obligations. Summit School and Summit Foundation will also assign their construction agreements to the county so that in the case of default, the county has option to complete the project. Summit School and Summit Foundation will also modify the foundation school lease to accommodate the county's security interest. So the resolution tonight is in support of the loan and approving their terms.
Supposed to be paid back by March 1st of 2027.
Yes.
I know there's some discussion earlier, when this was brought forth, that the $2.5 million wouldn't be made until some of the improvements had already been made on the property, so that the property would stand good for the $2.5 million.
That's,
Is that?
yes.
Okay, just want to make
It
sure that's
is.
still in here. I didn't see it specifically.
Any other questions from the board? Is there a motion for the resolution in support of financing for Summit Charter School?
Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion to support Resolution 24-01.
A second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Stribling,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions from the press? If not, we don't have a need to go into closed session tonight. We do have our regularly scheduled meeting February 6th at 6 p.m. Our work session February 13th at 1 p.m. And then our regularly scheduled February 20th meeting at 6:30. We do have our combined meeting at February 8th at Fairview at 6 p.m. Media Center. Fairview Media Center. So with no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? None opposed. We are adjourned.